Alright folks, Dave from King's Consoles here. This is going to be a video response to the 16-Bit Brothers, a channel I just recently subscribed to. I'd like to say thanks to Lone Boys Post 1975 for doing a shout out video. Just recently subscribed, as I say, looked at some of the back catalogue and some really great and funny videos that the guys do. Latest video they've actually done is a new kind of series they're going to be doing on the channel called Master Debaters. Check out the video if you haven't seen it already. The video is actually quite funny at the start because they're trying to talk about what they're going to name the series. To come up with some classics. I personally prefer Turkey Talk, that would be a pretty good one. But yeah, so Master Debaters, their first question that they've actually came up with is boss battles. Now, watching a response from Interghost, he actually said he had to spend quite a bit of time thinking about boss battles, and I was kind of much the same. I played so many games that when it came down to that question, I'd take a good half an hour or so to think about sort of my favourite boss battles, and memorable ones especially. Their video mainly focuses on sort of harder boss battles. I'm mainly going to be focused on sort of ones that come to mind that I really enjoyed as a kid. May have been quite easy to do, but I still found them actually really enjoyable. First one I'm going to actually shout out as a memorable boss battle is actually going to be for the NES Turtles 2, the arcade game. I loved the game in the arcades. I was overjoyed when actually it came out for the NES, so I could actually play it at home. Pretty decent port as well. Most of the boss battles in Turtles are quite generic, just avoid bullets, avoid attacks, and kill the baddie. The final battle, I have to say, after you've beaten Krang in the Technodrome, nice little twist on the final boss where you get Shredder coming out of a portal. It then splits into two, and then you're fighting two Shredders. The kind of cool part with this is that obviously one's a doppelganger, one's not really Shredder. After you attack the wrong Shredder for so often, his helmet comes off, so you then know which one to attack the Shredder. It's also a pretty smart move where Shredder does some sort of lightning attack and it turns the turtle into a baby turtle again, so reverse the mutation effectively. So I'm just going to put a little clip here so you can have a look and see what the battle's like. Just give you a little idea of what the end boss will be if you've not been there already. Okay, so my next boss battle I'm going to pick is from Zelda A Link to the Past. The boss I was actually going to pick is Ganon. Now, although it's this final boss, there's many, and actually Legend of Zelda series along, there's actually many memorable boss battles. Too many to actually name. I could actually make a whole video on the boss battles alone. But I think that the reason I picked Ganon from A Link to the Past is a real sense of achievement. Followed that game all the way through, loved it, and then when you finally got to the last battle with Ganon and beat him, it felt great. The main part as well about Ganon is that there's so many different tactics you have to use, like different stages of what actual Ganon does to attack you. Initially it starts off just by warping around the room, doing this sort of circle of fire, bats start to attack you. It then escalates onto that, he starts warping around with this really annoying noise, and it gets quite frustrating when he won't stop, but eventually takes all the floor around the actual level, so if you fall down there you have to go back to the start. It then puts the place in darkness, so you have to then use the fire rod to light up the room to even see him and attack him, and then if that's not enough, whenever you attack him you have to then hit him with a silver arrow to actually hurt him. So yeah, quite a different tiered level of actually beating Ganon, but once you get through it, it's worthwhile. So here's a little clip of Ganon in action. Okay, so the next boss I'm going to talk about is from Metal Gear Solid, both the PS1 original and the GameCube remake. The boss I'm actually going to talk about is Psycho Mantis. Now, the 16-bit brothers did mention Liquid Snake, his battle, which is pretty damn epic at the very end, but I couldn't really have kind of two Metal Gear. And out of the game, I do prefer Psycho Mantis, just the way it's handled. Not so much the battle itself and the actual fight, but more the lead up to it. Psycho Mantis basically breaks the fourth wall, and by that I mean it doesn't just interact with what's on the screen and the controller, it interacts with the actual player itself. Some examples is Psycho Mantis in the game will read your memory card, find out if you played any other Konami games, so Castlevania Symphony of the Night will make a comment about that, how many saves you've made, and my personal favourite is where it asks you to put the controller on the floor and he'll control it with his telekinesis. As a kid and seeing it happening, that kind of blew your mind. It's like, this is awesome. Even during the battle itself, the battle's not too difficult. It goes in active camo, throws some items at you, nothing too spectacular. The little tricks of the actual battle is much like Eternal Darkness, where it does the sanity meter and it messes with your head. You'll put the screen just go black, and normally your VCR, it says video at the top right hand corner here, it says Hideo, obviously for Hideo Kojima, and it's as if somebody switched it onto the VCR channel. The other thing that it does, part of winning the battle, is if you go to your codex and speak to Campbell, he'll actually tell you that he's reading your mind, switch the controller from port 1 to port 2, and when you do that, then Psycho Mantis comments that he can no longer read your mind. So these little touches just make it such an epic battle, and yeah, definitely up there with some of the best moments in gaming history. So just show you a little clip of some of the insane stuff that Psycho Mantis does.
You still don't believe me? I will show you my psychokinetic power. Put your controller on the floor. Put it down as flat as you can. That's good. Now, I will move your controller by the power of my will alone.
Okay, so the next boss I'm going to pick is from Resident Evil 3, and if you haven't already guessed yet, it's Nemesis. Now, the fact that Nemesis is actually the name of the title gives a pretty good indication of how good the actual villains are going to be. As I say, it's the main protagonist in the whole game. Not many gaming series I'm aware of that do actually have the main villain's name in the title. I'm thinking, well, I can really think at the top of my head is Donkey Kong. But yeah, if you don't know Resident Evil 3's story, the main premise is that they're trying to, Jill Valentine, they're trying to escape from Raccoon City after obviously the first game. What generally happens from there is that Umbrella send Nemesis to track down the remaining members of STARS, the Special Forces team from the first game, to make sure that they can't stop them with their, obviously, experiments with the T-virus and such. Nemesis, the reason I like him so much is he stalks you through the whole game, so it's not just one part in the game is a bad guy, he's basically everywhere. You'll just be walking through a corridor and all of a sudden he bursts through a wall and scares the shit out of you. So quite a few different times he pops up in the game. Some of them you fight him, others you can actually evade him until he comes back the next time. You never really kill Nemesis at the start, you just shoot him that much that he passes out and then he gets back up again. So he's an unstoppable machine really. And spoiler alert, if you haven't played the game you don't know how it ends. But obviously eventually you do get the real cannon, the real gun, and that takes him out. And only just, you still have to finish him off at the very end with your gun. But yeah, so Nemesis, awesome character. It even made it into the movie as well, which is a great to see that characters are actually like bosses like Nemesis can make it onto the big screen and make as big an impact. So here's a little clip of Nemesis in action.
Stars.
Okay, so the final boss I'm going to put into this video is from a little known game called Final Fantasy VII, and the boss I'm picking from this game is none other than Sephiroth, a character I've always loved from playing the Final Fantasy games. Just even the actual character and the look of the character, this big massive samurai sword, is great. And I think as far as in bosses go, it's certainly one of the most enjoyable fights I've had in an RPG game, certainly. You do spend a lot of time in RPG games. These games are designed to take the hours out of your life. Most games say certainly up to 100 hours upwards, depending if you want to do everything. So I think every good RPG game deserves an end boss, which is makes it worthwhile to, after you spend your hard-earned time, to finally get a good battle at the end. And I certainly think Sephiroth ticks the boxes for that. When I was younger and I played this game, I used to put hours upon hours actually levelling up, and when I finally got to that battle, I actually felt like all that hard work had been paid off. Because Sephiroth himself, you start off fighting Jenova, and then it kind of escalates into the fight with Sephiroth. So it's almost like 3-4 battles back to back. When it comes to Sephiroth's battle, he has a tiered level with the boss. You beat him, then he actually progresses in another form. First form is Bizarro Sephiroth, which I'll show in the little clip. Once you defeat that version of him, he then kind of evolves, if you like, into Sephiroth, kind of one-winged creature, which is kind of his ultimate form, if you like. And once you defeat him, you think that's all done. Finally, there can't be many more forms this guy's got, surely. No, you then just have a pretty simple one-on-one with Cloud and Sephiroth. And although it's not really that much of a battle, it's kind of a one-hit attack you really have, it's still satisfying to have that final stage where it's just mano a mano with the swords in hand. Yeah, so there we go, that's my selection of my top 5. I'll just show a little clip of Sephiroth just now, and I'll give a little honourable mention at the end. Okay, so there you go, that's my top 5 boss characters. As I say, there's many more out there that you could actually have picked from. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. Subscribe if you want to see some more content. I'm going to be doing some more pickup videos. Going to eventually, when I get my gear together, do some reviews. As I said in the last clip, I'm going to do a little honourable mention to, I think, a computer game character, or a boss I should say, that got the short end of the stick, quite literally. That's Rocksteady from Turtles for the NES game. By that I mean, the guy had no chance. If you've played the game before, you know what I mean, and you'll see it in the clip. At least Bebop had a chance to get a hit in, whereas Rocksteady, he basically got shafted. So yeah, catch you all later and enjoy the clip of Rocksteady getting his ass hit in the film. Thanks a lot.